midfield winks with Sissoko and Ndombele, Dele Alli, Son and Kane. And then Bayern Munich making a couple of changes from the weekend, from their win against Paderborn. Hernandez is out with a knee problem, and so David Alaba comes in to replace him. Great experience from him at left back. And Tolisso is into the midfield for Thiago, who is on the bench. So Bayern with Neuer in goal, Pavard, Zula, Boateng and Alaba, the back four. In midfield, Kimmich and Tolisso. And then Gnabry on the right, the former Arsenal youngster, Coman on the left, and the former Liverpool man on loan from Barcelona, Philippe Coutinho, behind 12-goal Robert Lewandowski this season. And the Bayern supporters singing in one corner, "We've come here to win," and they're bouncing up and down, and it has the feel of a big contest. Chris Waddle.
It's a good game on paper, John. I just hope it lives up to the expectations. You've got some wonderful talented footballers out there, and we just hope they can produce. And what you've got to say is a terrific atmosphere in very, very wet conditions.
Rain, absolutely. I mean, it's coming in clouds, isn't it? We can see the golden cockerel high up there above the south stand as the French referee Clément Turpin blows the whistle and gets this Champions League group match underway. It is the first time that Tottenham and Bayern Munich have played each other in Europe's premier competition. The previous two European ties were in the old Cup Winners' Cup and indeed the old UEFA Cup in the early 80s. Tottenham all in white. Here's Harry Kane now, cutting in from the left-hand side, and then the challengers come in, the ball runs away, and Nicolas Zula is looking to shepherd it over the dead ball line. He gets a little nudge from Dele Alli to let him know he's there, but it's behind for a goal kick that Manuel Neuer will take down to our right. The rain absolutely sweeping into the ground. I know it's
good start, sorry there, John.
Yep.
Good start by Tottenham. They're hustling them, look. They're going to squeeze them. Look, they know they've got talented footballers, and they've probably said, look, let's get the crowd going. First 10 minutes, let's get into them, rush them make mistakes and see what happens.
Bayern are in all red tonight with the white trim, white numbers on their backs. They'll also be underway, of course, in Manchester, where City are playing Dinamo Zagreb tonight, the Croatian champions. It's 0-0 in the very early stages there. We'll be crossing there on a regular basis, and also to the 7 championship matches that are being played this evening. We'll tell you all about those. But here's Gnabry breaking away downfield for Bayern, shoots left-footed, and it's saved by Lloris diving to his left. Alderweireld tried to go with him and actually stumbled and went down, and on the edge of the area Gnabry had a clear sight of goal. Good save, Lloris.
Strike, good counter-attack. I don't know what Alderweireld was thinking. I don't know if did he stand on his legs as he looked like he's throwing his own foot and went over, and he could have took it on a bit more if he wanted to, but he took the shot. It's a good save by Lloris. It
was, diving to his left. He was in the D when he hit it. It's close-ish to Lloris, but he still had to make the save. It was struck well, and that's a danger sign. A long ball, really, just a long ball for Gnabry to chase. Tottenham 0, Bayern Munich 0. This is BBC Radio 5 Live, and it is one of those nights when we are available on the red button this evening. The 5 Live commentary is available as the ball is played back by Sissoko, and Vertonghen just goes for a long ball downfield because the danger was there, and Kingsley Coman wasn't far away, and it was cleared out of play downfield. Yeah, if you're on your way home, you can carry on listening to our 5 Live commentary and coverage tonight via the red button on your television, where you will find the video printer, the graphics and various other bits and pieces as well. Just select 5 Live final score via the BBC iPlayer as well, and also the BBC Sport app. Chris Waddle.
I'm just looking, John, how Bayern set up, and Coutinho's playing very, very high actually. He's just playing really close to Lewandowski, and Harry Winks has got to be communicating with Vertonghen and Alderweireld to say, look, when he's coming off us, you've got to look over your shoulder and cut his line off. As he's there, look, he's running across now to cut his line off so he doesn't get the ball to feet.
Yeah, Coutinho has moved out to the right-hand side, as Chris Waddle was saying, and the ball's been played right into his path. A lovely ball from centre field. Coutinho pulls it back towards the edge of the area. He was looking for Lewandowski there, the danger man, who just peeled away, but Alderweireld read it and was able to volley it away on the edge of the penalty area. And it remains 0-0, but that's a couple of warnings now.
2 balls over the top, and they've got the legs, haven't they? Coutinho, Lewandowski, now they've got the legs on the 2 centre-halves.
Yeah, Tolisso, one of the danger men in midfield with those probing balls over the top. Tottenham with Harry Kane, playing the ball out towards the left-hand side. Sissoko is there. Then a little ball up towards Son, who tried to flick it actually, but I'm not sure he got any touch on it at all, and couldn't find Dele Alli. And Bayern were able to clear through Zula, and then Harry Kane is picked up for a foul centre field on Serge Gnabry, who started on the left-hand side, Gnabry, and Kingsley Coman is out on the right-hand side. He's in possession now, plays it back to the right back, Benjamin Pavard, the French World Cup winner. Remember that fantastic goal that he scored against Argentina in Russia? And he's been used in a number of positions already by Bayern Munich, not just as right back, which is where he's playing tonight. Then Zula turns and plays it back to Neuer behind him, and the captain and goalkeeper Neuer all in black. As Son is there, he just turns to his right and clips the ball left-footed out towards Pavard, and Bayern are enjoying possession inside their own half, although Pavard had to make Zula stretch for that and plays it across to Jerome Boateng, who turns away from Harry Kane and then finds the pass to Coutinho on the halfway line. Gnabry, now it's fired forward again by Tolisso, but this one's cut out, and Tottenham have it back with Sissoko. Sissoko being forced to carry the ball out towards the left-hand side, over the halfway line, and then turns and cuts back infield and finds a decent pass to Ndombele, and now through for Son with a chance left-footed. Goalkeeper Neuer comes out, narrowed his angles very well. There was no flag, but the Bayern goalkeeper saved it behind for a corner.
Well, Sissoko first, brilliant play. I thought it was offside, looking at the replays, bang on lane I think. So with Son, really he's got to score. It's early in the game, he's made it easy for Neuer. We know he likes to spread his legs and make himself big. He should have just lifted it or played it to the side, hit it straight at him.
You expect Son to score in those sort of positions. Corner taken short to Son inside the box, turning one way and the other onto his left foot, crosses. That's blocked down and partially away by Kimmich, and then cleared further away by Gnabry, out of play on the far side. So one chance apiece now.
Good start of the game.
Tottenham 0, Bayern Munich 0. Still Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0, and no goals yet, I don't think, in any of the matches in the Championship this evening. Let's see how things have started with Alistair Bruce-Ball, who's in Manchester again.
Yes, as you say, John, 0-0. Zagreb has some fantastically noisy supporters here. They're playing in luminous yellow. Manchester City, as you'd expect, have started with a lot of the ball. Aguero with one effort, he didn't quite connect properly, and Rodri fell awkwardly after winning a header. He's okay, it's 0-0.
Ali, who was at Old Trafford last night for the Manchester United-Arsenal match, for our commentary on that. Here's Pavard, who's being put under pressure by Dele Alli, carrying the ball away towards the corner flag, and turns and plays it out. Got a touch off Dele Alli, so it's a throw into Bayern deep inside their own territory. 0-0.
It's so important that Dele Alli, Son and Kane start to bring the team up the park. There, that's great pressure. Look, they're going to throw in Dele Alli first, then Son. That's what they need. The midfield and the back four will be saying, go and get the ball back high up the field forward.
Yeah, maybe the sort of thing that you wouldn't necessarily get from Christian Eriksen. Here's Dele Alli just outside the box. Ali looking for Rose, but turns away and plays it back to Sissoko, and then Sissoko into Harry Winks, and back it goes towards the halfway line for Tottenham. Tottenham 0, Bayern Munich 0. Tottenham, who started off so well in the group, 2-0 up in Piraeus, I should say, against Olympiacos, and ending up with a 2-2 draw, while Bayern started with a 3-0 home win against Red Star Belgrade. Ball played over the top into the box, but Son stumbled as the ball was heading towards him.
Somebody pulled the turf away, didn't it?
It did look like that. He was just trying to get his feet right, and he got it all wrong and tumbled over rather comically. And in the end, actually, Son, typically, I think, did see the funny side. Here's Pavard bringing it forward down the right-hand side. Sissoko just leaned into him. Down he went. And he's won the free kick. It was quite tame, free kick on the halfway line. So Tottenham 0, Bayern Munich 0. First day of October. It feels like we're well into winter.
Two French players and a French referee.
I don't know what you're suggesting, Chris.
Oh, well, there you go.
Here is Alaba playing the infield, but it was deflected by Ndombele, who uses Winks and then plays it back to the halfway line. Ndombele, the new Tottenham number 28, if you remember, did very well for Lyon in the Champions League last season. And now Aurier has, as he was challenging for a ball with Alaba, Alaba went to ground and Aurier landed. He did actually plant his feet on the player, on Alaba, down on the ground. Aurier, who was sent off, oh my goodness, the ball had gone, and Aurier actually lands both feet on the Bayern Munich left back when the ball had gone.
He's got away with that. I tell you what, it was about 5 minutes ago, John. Alba blocked Aurier off, and he wasn't happy about it. You could see.
I mean, this is Aurier who was sent off.
Yeah,
but
he wasn't happy. He got blocked off about 5-10 minutes ago. If that 5 minutes ago, he wasn't happy. But we're getting the replay here. And wow! I mean, the referee saw a video of that. I'm sorry, he'd be walking down the tunnel again.
Well, VAR will have looked at that. You know, that's a potential straight red card. They'll have looked at it, and clearly they feel, because he slid the ball away. Aurier was already in the air, and but he did come down with force onto Alaba, who's okay, and no further action taken. But unlike you, here as it's slipped forward by Gnabry, Son is in and shoots from the angle, and it's a comfortable save for Neuer. Both Kane and Ali were in the middle, and in fact Kane is saying to Son, "Why didn't you just set me up?"
Great ball inside the fullback, was it? So I've looked at it, John, where we're sitting, we're very high up here. And I just thought it was a difficult ball to get to Harry Kane, I've got to say. It was a difficult angle to get it across the goal to Harry Kane, the far post. Dele Alli was arriving maybe a bit too late, so it's easy to look at and say he got it wrong, but that was a difficult one for him.
Tottenham 0, Bayern Munich 0. 10 minutes on the clock. Still Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0, and still no goals yet in the night's matches in the Championship. Ball on the left-hand side with Kingsley Coman. Out it goes now to Pavard, the tall right back, who slips it through to Gnabry. Gnabry goes for an early ball, whipped low across the edge of the 6-yard box, but Alderweireld came across, got underneath it, and it landed in amongst all of those red shirts and coats and hats and scarves of the Bayern Munich supporters, who are creating an excellent audio backdrop to this game. Their singing is prompting the Tottenham fans in that massive stand to our right as the ball is played over the top to Lewandowski, who turns and shoots, but down into the ground, and the offside flag was up.
He was off, just off. What's good is when Bayern get the pressure of the front three on Tottenham, if they can play around that front three, Bayern look very, very dangerous.
We have Harry Kane at one end with his 6 goals for Tottenham this season, and 4 for England as well. 10 goals for club and country this season. Robert Lewandowski with his 12 goals already for Bayern Munich. He scored 10 in the first 6 league matches, and no one's ever done that before in 6 matches in the Bundesliga. But Boateng feels he was fouled. Tottenham coming forward. Son, right-footed across Neuer, and it's into the back of the net. But Tolisso feels that there was a foul committed in there by Tottenham, but it's not given. The goal stands, and Son with his right foot has made it Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 0.
I've got to say, he's been the worst player in the box today, so he doesn't. He looks no confidence. He looks scared. Every time he's had the ball, he's trying to get rid of it on one touch. He's constantly giving it away. It's not a foul at all. He's went to the ground looking for one. There's no way. It's a lovely weighted pass, and it's a good finish by Son. It's all he can do is hit it across the keeper. He's hit it hard and low. If he does get a decent hand on it, Harry Kane, I'm sure, would have been there to tap that in. Tottenham have deserved that.
Got a good hand to it, actually, Neuer, but hit so well across him and low. It bounced up and actually just clipped the post on its way in. Alaba has left the field for a moment or two on the halfway line and is receiving treatment, but he's okay. He's being sent back on now, and so Tottenham have the lead here against Bayern Munich. Well finished by Son. Had a couple of sighters, Chris, from the other side, from the left-hand side.
They've had three, four good chances already, Tottenham, haven't they? Let's be honest. And they've had one, definitely, maybe 1.5, 2. So Tottenham, when they're pressing, Bayern Munich can't live with them at the minute.
Here's Harry Winks down the left-hand side for Tottenham. Into Sissoko. Back to Winks on the edge of the penalty area, but he ran into trouble there. And Coutinho will run it away for Bayern towards the halfway line. And then challenge on Coleman from Vertonghen, but he got the ball. Tottenham have it again on the left-hand side. And Dele Alli now brings the ball down. Great noise inside the stadium here around us.
Great tempo, John, by Tottenham, but I don't know if they can keep this up. I'm going, it's 13 gone. If they can keep us up for 30, 35 minutes, they've done very, very well.
First goal of the night in the Championship scored by Fulham. Tom Kearney has put Fulham 1-0 up at Reading. Tottenham coming forward again, and the ball's deflected out of play for a throw into Bayern deep inside their own territory. So we'll head back to Manchester and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0. 3 chances have come and gone very quickly for City in the space of one attacking move. Poor back pass let Aguero in, tried to round the keeper. Livakovic made the save. Aguero got it back to Gundogan. His effort was blocked. The rebound from Bernardo Silva over the bar. Here's Aguero trying to make space in the penalty area. Silva on the volley. Bernardo Silva again just shoots wide. Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
Tottenham singing their songs inside the stadium here. It's coming at a great noise from the huge south stand to our right, which stretches right up, no divisions in there. As the ball is played over the top down the right hand side, Coleman's after it into the penalty area, clips it across, Lewandowski chests it down, ball into the towards the penalty spot to Coutinho, was cleared away, but it comes out now. Kimmich, what a goal! Right-footed, swung it across the dive of Lloris and into the back of the Tottenham net, and it's 1-1, and that's an excellent goal from Joshua Kimmich.
What a finish, what a finish. Again, Danny Rose, and Arby runs in behind him, doesn't he? Coleman, runs in behind him. He doesn't track him, he lets him run behind, he's not offside, and then it comes to Lewandowski, who plays it back into the box as it comes to him. I've got to say, it's what a finish it is. It comes out to Kimmich, and what a finish. Good first touch, doesn't panic, goes back on his right, bends it away from Lloris, across the goal, into the bottom corner. Tottenham, once you come off the pace against a good side like Bayern Munich, you pay the price.
Brilliantly struck. Lloris had no chance with that. It passed him at pace, and actually with the curl bent into the inside of the side netting. So Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1, 15 minutes on the clock, and Bayern, they did feel aggrieved in the manner that they conceded the goal. I'm like you, Chris, I don't think there was much in the alleged foul on Tolisso. They might feel that Aurier, who set up Son, shouldn't be on the field after his challenge on Alaba, but he is, and VAR have looked at that and will have decided that
it's very hard, John, because Tottenham's success here is pressing, and that's where they look the better side. As soon as they can't press and Bayern get time on the ball and look and get in behind, they ask questions, they look like they're going to score. They've scored one, I can see them scoring. You can see them scoring again, Bayern. But Tottenham, can they keep this work rate up and the pressure high up the field? It's very, very difficult against a quality side like Bayern Munich.
So 1-1, Bayern responding within 3 minutes of the opening goal for Tottenham from Son. He's got a great pedigree, Son, of scoring in the Champions League. We know that from last season. Alaba now with a curling cross into the penalty area. That's headed away by Danny Rose, who's given a shove in the back actually by Coleman. So it's a free kick to Tottenham inside their own penalty area. So 1-1 here. It is still Red Star Belgrade 0, Olympiacos 0 in the other match in this group. And in the other match in Manchester City's group, Shakhtar Donetsk won 2-1 in Milan against Atalanta, who've now lost both of the matches that they've played. We're going to make a visit shortly, but the ball's played over the top to Harry Kane. Kane takes it out wide, and round Neuer managed to get a shot on goal, but Alaba came across to turn it behind the near post for a corner.
Great little ball again, and Harry Kane's made a great run in between the two, left back and the centre half. Great first touch, good covering by Alaba, but what a game this is.
Corner, and it's going to be left for Ndombele to take. He trots away, Dele Alli leaves him to it. Tottenham have Harry Kane and Aurier near the penalty spot. It is taken short to Ali, and then the ball swung in from the left hand to Son, swung in from the left hand side. That's blocked away, comes back, and then it's worked across to Dele Alli inside the box. Some clever footwork from him, pulled it back, dragged it forward, and then lost possession. But Tottenham still have it, all in white, playing from left to right towards the towering south stand. And now Tottenham into the penalty area it is, and Ndombele doing well, crossing, and it's blocked behind for another Tottenham corner.
And he looks a very good player, doesn't he? He's got skill, pace, he can compete as well, he's got a great engine. He's been a very good signing for Tottenham.
Juventus have taken the lead against Bayer Leverkusen in Group D. Higuain, the goal scorer. Here's the corner. Ndombele plays it in low towards the penalty spot. There's a stretch and a clearance away by Pavard. Tottenham again, Son back onto his right foot, rides the challenge, shoots low, and Neuer has to go down to his left and is able to gather the ball in. And it remains Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1. Biggest game of the night in the Championship. Elland Road, Leeds against West Brom, and Vicky Sparks will tell us how it started there.
It's goalless, 11 minutes until half-time. Leeds 2 points behind leaders West Brom in the Championship. The home side have been well on top, but have only drawn one real save from the West Brom goalkeeper Sam Johnston. Click's effort inside the second minute. They've just lost captain Liam Cooper to injury as well, Leeds. West Brom's best opportunity on the break, Robson Kanu with an effort saved by Casilla, but it remains Leeds 0, West Brom 0.
And Reading are down to 10 men in that match at the Medeski Stadium. 1-0 down to Fulham, and John Swift's been sent off for a second bookable offence.
It was a Swift appearance.
It was. 20 minutes and he's gone. Here is Koeman on the left-hand side, crossing in, but a stretch from Alderweireld with his right leg blocks it out, and it's a corner to Bayern. 1-1, Son opening the scoring for Tottenham, Kimmich equalising with an excellent goal. Corner then, Coutinho to take this. 3 Bayern Munich players just inside the edge of the penalty area, played into the back post, and Alderweireld goes up and gets ahead to it and nods it beyond the far post, and it drops down and bounces over the hoardings into the Bayern fans. So it'll be another corner, this one from the right hand side. Kimmich is going to take this. He arrives there, a whole gaggle of ball boys and stewards peering over the hoardings behind him. Kimmich plays it into the near post, it's headed away for Tottenham, comes out to Coutinho, controls it, shoots, a curling effort that lacked power, and Lloris was able to go to his right and pat it down.
You went well, you've got to close him down quick, because how many times we've seen him over the years from that distance put it in the top corner. So I think Tottenham's just shaded it, John, so far, but I don't know if they can keep this tempo up.
Coutinho scored a couple of goals, you'll remember, in his time for Liverpool against Tottenham when he was playing his trade in the Premier League. Going to go to Manchester again in a moment, but a long ball over the top for Tottenham, for Son to chase. That's headed away by Boateng. Comes out to Winks. Winks turns to his right. Mauricio Pochettino arrives on the edge of the coaching area in his thigh-length blue, navy blue anorak. It is a night for a coat, I must say. Rose on the left-hand side. Kane now turns way over on the far side, back to Sissoko. Sissoko drives a pass, crossfield, first time ball from Aurier, deflects off Koeman. They're shouting for a penalty in the south stand, but Koeman had his arms tucked into his body. It's a corner.
Lovely play by Tottenham, moving the ball from left to right. Sissoko, lovely diagonal. No, you're not going to get a pen for that. You've got a corner.
So Ndombele is going to take it. The record signing from Lyon this summer, right-footed outswinger. Dele Alli comes to the near post. Here's the delivery towards the penalty spot, headed up and partially away by Bayern, and then the clearance completed by Gnabry. So we'll bring in Alistair Bruce Ball from Manchester City again.
Coming thick and fast from Manchester City, they've not been able to stick them away. David Silva's just missed from close range. Gundogan's hit a pile driver against the bar. It almost tempts me to say, if Manchester City don't score this evening, I'll take you two out for a slap-up meal. But I've fallen foul of that before. It's Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0. I still owe you the meal, Chris, by the way. I know that. I was
going to say he's fallen foul of it, but it's not cost him anything yet.
Still waiting.
And it's nearly Christmas, or it feels like it's nearly Christmas here in London tonight. I know that not much of the country has escaped the torrential rain today. Thunder and lightning was spectacular in London this afternoon, in central London. I know you had your troubles on the M1.
Yep.
Tottenham playing the ball out from the back on the left-hand side. It's kept in over there by Danny Rose, and Tottenham continue to bring it forward with Vertonghen, who wins the throw-in halfway inside the Bayern half. Marauding run from Vertonghen, and now Ndombele pulls the ball across here to Aurier, who is dispossessed by Gnabry on the edge of the penalty area. Enterprising stuff from Vertonghen, and Aurier getting well forward, and then Ndombele fouls Coutinho.
It is a
there has been a first goal of the night at Elland Road. Vicky Sparks.
And it's a deserved goal for Leeds. They lead West Brom by a 0-0, and as things stand, leapfrogging them at the top of the Championship. A low-driven shot from Alioski from the left-hand side. Bamford was stretching, trying to get a touch on the way through. It's just been given to Alioski by the stadium announcer, so it looks as though Bamford didn't quite get there, and Leeds lead West Brom by a 0-0.
Thank you, Vicky. Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1. BBC Radio 5 Live. We're on the red button tonight. 5 Live final score. Available also on BBC iPlayer, on the front page there, on the BBC Sport website and app. As Gnabry loses possession to Winks and then pulls Winks back when Tottenham could have been away, and that's a yellow card for Serge Gnabry.
That's good refereeing. As I say, good pressure. Winks pushing into midfield. High up the field, Tottenham, when they've pressed ever so well, I've got to say. 24 minutes gone, and that's where they're getting their success from. Mate, should have scored another goal for me at least.
Free kick, 5 or 6 yards inside the Bayern Munich half, just to the right of the centre circle. Alderweireld takes it into the penalty area. Dele Alli takes it down on his thigh, turns, tried to play it in for Aurier, who is arriving, but Bayern have been able to clear. Ndombele takes a quick throw. Aurier, Ndombele back to Winks. Winks turns away from Coutinho and plays it back into his own half. So Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1, already beyond the midway point of the first half. Still the clouds of rain blow into the stadium as Harry Kane, centre field, turns and swings an excellent ball into the path of Aurier, who rolls it across, and Ndombele's right foot shot is saved down to his left by Neuer.
Oh, what a great move. Harry Kane, first touch ball from Vertonghen, comes into his feet, takes it off the lane, opens his body up, switches the play, and it's a great pull back in. The effort's good. All he can do is hit the target hard and low, and we keep saying Neuer likes to get down, spreads his feet this time, which is left hand.
Corner taken short. Son swings it in right-footed. It's cleared away out to Sissoko. They wanted him to shoot. He thinks better of it. Plays it to Vertonghen, whose cross is blocked by the first man. Coleman out for a throw to Tottenham on the left-hand side.
All you can start thinking, John, is Tottenham's played very well and good tempo about them. All his chances is it going to cost them? You've got to put it in the back of the net. They should be 3-1 up for me.
And Neuer actually has now made a string of saves. 3 very decent saves.
It should be 3, could be 4.
Sissoko in the centre circle finds Rose. Now the ball on the left hand side. Kane trying to battle his way into the penalty area. 2 Bayern players there, and he was fouled. Well, that is being disputed by Kimmich, but it certainly looked it as Kane, with his back to the penalty area,
It's a foul.
just got his foot clipped by Kimmich, and it's a free kick in a very good area.
Yeah, he just catches him slightly, and Harry Kane goes down. The referee 2 yards away. He's having a word. He's not happy. The referee, the response by the Bayern Munich players.
They're protesting about this. Kimmich is still talking about it. Lewandowski was there as well, and referee Turpin has actually taken Kimmich across there, and I think there's a little bit of finger wagging going on.
Harry Kane's got to take this, hasn't he? Because
from this angle,
he's not. Well, Eriksen's not on the field,
but we've seen him plant them in from here before. Harry Kane, great angle it is. Neuer, who is on form tonight, it's great. Bayern Munich goalkeeper, 33 years old now. He's lining up his wall. He's pacing around 4 or 5 yards off the line. Kane standing there, left foot in front of right, just weighing it all up. Referee Turpin is still sorting out the wall, and he's also telling the Tottenham players there, you can't be within 3 yards
Will
of
the Bayern
the wall.
players stay up though, John? So they'll be offside, and they'll say they're interfering with the ball because it's going on the line of Neuer. I'm sure he's not going to go over the wall, surely.
Yeah, the Tottenham players standing behind the Bayern wall. So it is a free kick for Tottenham. Harry Kane, right-footed, over the wall, but over the angle of post and bar as well, and into the crowd.
No, I think he didn't have much of a run-up, did he? So he's trying to clip it over the wall. Maybe go up and put your foot through it on a wet surface. Can you hit it into the ground? Make Neuer save it. It might be a simple tap-in for somebody.
Fulham are now 2-0 up at Reading. 10-man Reading. Mitrovic has scored after a little dry spell. That's his 6th of the season for Alexander Mitrovic. And Middlesbrough are 1-0 down to Preston. Josh Harrop has scored after Middlesbrough were 4-1 down at half-time on Saturday, as Neuer had to be very careful there against Son, who's in danger of doing a Loris from the weekend here in this stadium, but the goalkeeper got the touch today.
That was excellent play, wasn't it? Great pressure by Son, who has worked his socks off. Neuer really cool.
However, Tottenham come again with Vertonghen. The score is 1-1 on 5 Live. Rose's ball into the penalty area, only half cleared by Zula. Gnabry was in there. The clearance from Alaba strikes the arms of Ndombele, and it's a free kick.
How can you give that handball? He's 3 yards away, he's cleared it, put his foot through it, and it just hits him.
Middlesbrough have quickly equalised with a Darnell Fisher own goal, so it's 1-1. Middlesbrough 1, Preston 1. Fulham now 3-0 up at Reading. Mitrovic has scored his second of the night. Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1. Still Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0. And the ball is back with Hugo Lloris, who's had a very quiet spell, almost half an hour's played. Tottenham have had a very good spell, actually, responding after Bayern Munich came up with the equaliser. And here is Boateng on the ball, turns it to Alaba, just in front of where Mauricio Pochettino is watching, arms folded, and Ndombele does well, wins the ball back from Gnabry. Now Dele Alli takes the ball on from centre field, still Ali. Keeps his feet against Coleman, gives it to Sissoko. Sissoko on the edge of the area, back to Dele Alli. He slips it through to Son. Right foot shot! Wide and low of the near post. Neuer going down to his right. And Neuer there, you can tell his body language. In fact, he's shouting at his defenders. Not happy.
You've got to say, how many efforts have Tottenham had? All right, that one's just missed. But chances, he's definitely onside. He's tried to reverse it at the near post, but they must have had, 7 or 8 good chances?
But they've scored just the one from Son, which gave Tottenham the lead, but Joshua Kimmich equalising shortly after, so it's 1-1 here. And as for Manchester City, with you, Alistair, Bruce Ball.
13 minutes remaining in the first half. Pep Guardiola looking a little bemused that his team haven't scored. Still 0-0 against Dinamo Zagreb. Sergio Aguero has had the ball in the net, but before he thumped it in, Bernardo Silva handballed it, so it didn't count. 0-0.
More live sport in the morning on 5 Live Sports Extra. Rugby Union World Cup live from Japan. 2 big matches, France against the USA from 8:45 and New Zealand Canada from 11:15. Looks as though Bayern are perhaps thinking about making a change, Chris.
They are.
So Alaba has been struggling. We'll have to see. I think that we get to our feet. We're right up here in the top tier, so we have to stand up and just have a peer over the top. Could be Thomas Muller who's coming on, although I can't see the movement continuing down there. So half-time approaching, just over half an hour played. Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1, and here's Aurier on the right-hand side. Then Winks, he loses out to Lewandowski. No free kick. Lewandowski takes it on, still going, waiting for support to come. Kimmich is there. It's played by Lewandowski. Now to Coleman in the box on the right-hand side, but they were rather laboured there, Bayern, even though they had at least a man advantage, and gave Tottenham a chance to get back into position, and it was blocked out for a throw on the far side. That had danger bells ringing all over the place when Lewandowski was running away with it. Here is Lewandowski again, 1-1 the score, back to Kimmich, and now it's played back by Pavard to Zula, who plays it square centrally to Tolisso. Now Coutinho, Alaba arriving on the left-hand side, swinging over a dangerous-looking cross to the back post. Lewandowski was underneath it, but he could only head it wide and behind the far post, and actually might have clattered Vertonghen in there, who has gone down holding the back of his head.
Well, got to just over 30 minutes, 32 now, and Bayern's had a couple of good attacks there. Lewandowski heavily involved. It's come off his shoulder, actually. He hasn't headed it. It's come off his shoulder and gone wide. But the first one on the break was probably 4 against 3, didn't it? But he delayed it. Didn't know who to give the ball to. It was too late eventually.
And actually, the little televisions that we have here showed us that Lewandowski certainly caught Vertonghen with his forearm on the back of the Belgian's head. 1-1. Pavard bringing the ball forward for Bayern, giving it to Coleman onto his left foot. Coleman flights the ball in. That's headed away by Vertonghen, who's recovered from that bang. And then as the ball comes back to Vertonghen, he clears it away downfield. Half-time whistles going in the Championship matches tonight. Wigan 0, Birmingham 0. Hull City 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, and Blackburn 0, Nottingham Forest 0. And it's half-time at Elland Road with you, Vicky.
Our Leeds are going top of the Championship as things stand. They lead West Brom, who they're overtaking by a 1-0. Alioski 7 minutes before the break. Lovely shot from the left-hand side. Bamford and Costa denied from close range. Costa, brilliant save from Sam Johnston from West Brom just before the break as well. So really should be 2-0 leads. It's just the one at the break. They're heading top of the table.
The big game at the top end of the Championship. We're also at the big game at the bottom end as well. Stoke 0, Huddersfield 0. That was an 8 o'clock kickoff. But I'm told that not a great deal is going on there. We'll hear more from Robin Cowan in due course. But Coutinho playing the ball over the top to Coleman. Coleman on the right-hand side. Twists and turns. Doesn't use Pavard. In fact, cuts in field and then shoots left-footed. But well wide of the near post. Wrong option. And it's a goal kick to Tottenham and it's 1-1. Chris Waddle.
Well, Coleman, a very exciting player, isn't he? You've got to say he's got great feet, bit of pace, can go past people, but it's a consistency with him, isn't it? That's what's let him down. He's having a good run in the side of Bayern this season, and he's done very well so far.
You can hear the Bayern Munich supporters just singing Bayern, Bayern. This is what they do in the Allianz Arena when there are 60 or 70,000 of them, and it can be quite intimidating. And they're making a great noise here inside the Tottenham Stadium. Ball being taken forward by Tolisso. Now to Coleman again. He's seen an awful lot of the ball just outside the area. Right-footed ball clipped in. He was looking for Lewandowski, but Alderweireld was there, stationed in front of
feeling the pace now, John. Tottenham.
Yeah.
Bayern now are controlling the ball, the pace of the game. Look, they're dictating now.
10 minutes to go to half-time. It's 1-1. Bayern have Manuel Neuer to thank, and also perhaps a little bit of wasteful finishing from Tottenham.
Yeah, a bit of both.
For the fact that it is still 1-1. Kimmich to the right-hand side to Pavard, and then Pavard gets it back again, and back it goes towards the halfway line. This time tomorrow night on 5 Live, commentary from Anfield, Liverpool's match against Red Bull Salzburg. Here's Coutinho, the former Liverpool man, the number 10 for Bayern Munich this season. Turns, gives it to Kimmich, left-footed ball into the area, just cut out by the head of Alderweireld. Otherwise it would have dropped into the path of Lewandowski. Winks in a very tight position there, is able to work it away, and Sissoko calmly back to Danny Rose, who will lift it forward to Dele Alli, who will chest it down. Son, that's clever, back to Ali, that's clever as well, takes it down, gives it out here to Aurier on the right-hand side. Aurier's ball to Dele Alli, right side of the box, turns back, tries to play in Kane near the penalty spot, and crucially Pavard stepped across and cleared it out for a throw down here.
Dele Alli's done okay, hasn't he? He's put a good shift in, he'll be feeling it. He hasn't played a lot of football, but when he's had it, he's always looking to create something.
Gareth Southgate names his next England squad on Thursday afternoon. I'm not sure Dele Alli will be in it.
Maybe he's not enough football.
Vertonghen, Kane with a flick now to the edge of the area as Dele Alli claims he was fouled. Kane is in there all over the back of Tolisso in the box, and that was a clear free kick given Bayern's way. And it is Middlesbrough 1, Preston 1 at half-time at the Riverside in the Championship.
I think he's got a shout for
Dele Alli.
Yeah, I think he's got a shout. I think he gets an elbow in the back.
Right on the edge of the penalty area, in the D, maybe in the box, but referee Clement Turpin and certainly the officials, you know, that early incident in the match when Aurier landed both feet on Alaba with the ball already cleared away by the Bayern left back. They were kind to Tottenham, the officials there, as Tolisso plays it infield to Kimmich. Kimmich looks up, left-footed ball up towards the right-hand side. Pavard, tall and lean. Coutinho's now looking to thread it right through the middle for the run of Gnabry. That was intercepted by Alderweireld, and Tottenham clear to the halfway line. Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1. Yep, live from Anfield this time tomorrow. Liverpool against Red Bull Salzburg. Ian Dennis will have Chris Sutton alongside him for the commentary. We'll also be with Chelsea in France for their game against Lille and all of tomorrow's other football, the championship matches covered as well. Lewandowski now stretching forward, cleared away by Alderweireld, comes out to Gnabry, now to the left hand side to Alaba, who looked to play it in, but Aurier was there in position to use his body to block it behind for a Bayern corner from the left.
For all, I'd say Tottenham have been the better side, but when Bayern pick the ball up and they get over the halfway line with it, they carry a threat. You can tell there's something going to happen.
Corner. Coutinho with the corner into the edge of the 6-yard box. Tottenham clear it, and important events approaching in Qatar, and our athletics correspondent Mike Costello is there.
For the men's 200 metres final, John, featuring Britain's Adam Jamili, who ran very quickly in his semi-final, but will have to go even quicker still to beat the man drawn to his inside, Noah Lyles of the United States, who is the 4th fastest man in history at 22, running faster at the same age than the great Usain Bolt. Bolt, the winner of this title at the last 4 World Championships. Adam Jamili in lane number 6, and there's been some noise over on that far side of the stadium, so it'll take them 90 seconds or so, John, to reassemble.
You, Mike, in due course in Qatar. Tottenham coming forward, but Ndombele, who's done a lot of things right tonight, got it all wrong, Chris, on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it was a cross. He looks as if he's put a terrific shift in. He's starting to feel a pace now, and that was loose. A little bit of lacking in concentration, didn't put his foot round it, and it goes high over the bar and into the crowd.
Back to Qatar in a moment, to the World Athletics, once they get themselves sorted out. But 1-1 here, half-time approaching, just about 5 minutes to go. Still the rain absolutely swirling into the stadium under the floodlights, and Bayern coming forward. And it is back to Mike we go.
Thank you, John. They're on their marks for a second time. Jamili drawn in lane 6, immediately outside the flying American Noah Lyles. Could it be Britain's first medal in this event for 26 years, since John Regis back in 1993? Any number of rivals for Jamili, but he ran so well in his semi-final. And they blast away, and the early part of the race is so important for Adam Jamili. He has to lay down the challenge early on. He's trying to stretch away from Noah Lyles. Into the home straight they come. It's Andre de Grasse, the 100-metre bronze medalist, who's leading, but now being taken on by Jamili, and in turn by Noah Lyles. It's Noah Lyles leading from Jamili, who's being passed now by Adam de Grasse, and Jamili only in 4th place as the title goes to Noah Lyles of the United States in 19.82 seconds. Jamili in contention for around 180 metres, and then ran out of it in the closing stages agonisingly, as he was at the Olympic Games in Rio 3 years ago, in 4th place. 19.83 seconds though, the winning time for Noah Lyles, the first American champion in 12 years.
Thank you, Mike, and we'll have more from Mike in Doha, along with Alison Kirbishley, on that at half-time, which is not far away. Still Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 1. Here in London, still Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0 in Manchester. And if you didn't hear earlier, Dina Asher-Smith won her semi-final in the 200 metres as Coutinho has the ball on the edge of the area, shoots, it's blocked, bounces back to Lewandowski. Coutinho, who's on the ground, gets up, and actually, as he did so, Ndombele then slid in for the ball, caught Coutinho. It's a yellow card for Ndombele and a free kick to Bayern in a good position, actually very similar to where Harry Kane had his free kick at the other end about 15 minutes ago.
Well, it's sort of like a scissor action, isn't it, which gets the free kick. He actually plays the ball with his heel. Coutinho then gets caught on the follow-through, so Coutinho goes up and over, and obviously the referee, was 2-3 yards away? So he's given a free kick, and as you said, it's a very similar position Harry Kane was in, about 15 minutes ago.
Lewandowski look as though he's going to take this. Dina Asher-Smith's 200 metres final is tomorrow night, by the way. Obviously we'll have commentary on 5 Live, watch it BBC TV as well. But Lewandowski, it's a little bit further out than where Harry Kane had his, so the Tottenham wall will be on or just inside the penalty area. Lewandowski, referee Turpin, it still hasn't measured out the 10 yards yet, and is doing that now. Red Star Belgrade 0, Olympiacos 1. Semedo has scored for Olympiacos. That is in this group. Lewandowski is the only candidate to take this from an angle. It's be 25 yards out. because of that angle. Lloris just puts his gloves up over his face for a moment. The referee again going through this routine of telling the attacking players that they cannot stand closer than permitted to the defensive wall. There's the whistle. Free kick from the angle for Robert Lewandowski. Little steps and then curls it round the wall, but around the post as well and behind, and it's a goal
Wasn't
kick.
a very good effort, was it? It's got a corner out of it. I think it went through the middle of the wall, John. I don't know. Look, it went through the middle of the wall, which is poor.
That wasn't great.
But it wasn't a great free kick, but he got a corner out of it.
Corner, Coutinho waiting to take that. Boateng is up at the back post. And here's the delivery, looking for Boateng. It's headed away for Tottenham though. Bounces out towards the far side, where it's allowed to bounce out of play by Jerome Boateng. And it's a throw-in for Bayern in that corner where all of their supporters are. And it's actually left for Pavard to take. Tottenham have got everyone back in their own defensive third. You can feel that cool wind actually swirling around the ground as well as half-time approaches here. Pavard gets the ball back on the ground. Challenge comes in from Rose, puts it out of play. Another Bayern throw, 10 yards back from the corner flag. And then a flick, what a flick from Lewandowski to take it away and then pull it across where it was headed away. Still comes out though into the central area where Tolisso threw himself to the ground. Lewandowski shoots on the turn and scores right-footed into the bottom corner. What a finish that is, rapier-like. And Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 2 is the score, and that is the class of Robert Lewandowski.
Well, as you said, John, class. What a great finish that was. But you've got to say Tottenham have dominated this first half. Bayern Munich have carried at times a bit of quality on the counter-attack, but just this last 5-10 minutes they've come back into the game and can't clear the ball. Tottenham, they put the bodies on the lane, but they just can't put the foot through it. Comes to Lewandowski, who's facing the wrong way, swivels power into the bottom left-hand corner, absolutely. But the flick before that was fantastic to watch. Lloris, absolutely no chance.
Great finish in the D, a goal scorer's finish. Knows where the goal is, turns a low shot round the defender for Tongen, and it flashed into the bottom corner. And Bayern Munich lead by 2-1, and Lewandowski has done it again, his 55th goal in 82 Champions League appearances. And the whistle goes at a rather deflated Tottenham Hotspur stadium, and the players troop towards the tunnel. My goodness, Tottenham have had chances in the first half. Neuer's made saves. Spurs took the lead through Son, but Kimmich and Lewandowski have scored the goals for Bayern.
I said it, when you're playing against quality sides, you've got to take your chances. Tottenham have had numerous occasions to put the ball in the back of the net. They've been wasteful, not enough composure at times, but it just shows you, after 30-35 minutes, Tottenham start to run out of legs, and the quality of Bayern Munich just comes through there just before half-time.
Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 2 at half-time. And Kelly Cates is here with us in the commentary position.
That goal from Bayern Munich has taken the heat out of the atmosphere here in the stadium, Chris. But what did you make of Tottenham's performance in the first half?
I thought they played well up to 35 minutes. You cannot really fault them. The tempo was great. Bayern Munich were very, very rattled. They got in the faces. And you've got to say, Tottenham's had, I'm not saying they should score every one, but they could have scored 4, definitely, on the first half. Bayern Munich got 2, and that's basically it. Maybe could have got another one, maybe. But Tottenham have been the better side for 35 minutes. But this level of football, Kelly, you've got to be able to see the game through, look after the ball, have a plan B to say, the front three are tired, drop back 10 yards, let us play on the counter-attack. They've tried to press and they've been stretched all over the place. And Bayern, as you saw the last 10 minutes, just started to move the ball, nice and comfortable, nice and easy. Now they're in control of the game.
They're in control of the game at half-time. Dave says this is the kind of game that makes me wish I had zero stake in the outcome. Truly entertaining stuff. Tom says this is what Tuesday nights were made for. Bez says Tottenham against Bayern is living up to its billing. Fantastic game thus far. And Rachel says this one could be 8-all. Stay with us because we will bring you the second half of this game very shortly. Meanwhile, it's half-time at the Etihad. Alistair Bruce Falls there.
Manchester City have not been able to find a way through yet against the Croatian champions Dinamo Zagreb. Half-time 0-0. I've just seen the Manchester City players trooping off in front of me, and Riyad Mahrez and Bernardo Silva, really in animated conversation about what is quite not working in the final third. Last 20 minutes of that half, Manchester City were camped in the Dinamo Zagreb half, basically attack against defence. They've had all the ball. Gundogan has driven one shot against the crossbar. Aguero has had the ball in the back of the net, but it was correctly ruled out for a handball by Bernardo Silva in the build-up. They've missed a couple of good chances as well. David Silva from close range hooking wide. Bernardo Silva slicing a volley off target when he had a decent chance. So you do feel like that goal is coming. Dinamo Zagreb have offered very little. One chance from a set piece. They are a big team. A powerful header from Peric was straight at Ederson. But Manchester City just need to find that first goal, and I think they'll probably then stick in 2 or 3 more. But at half-time, Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
Ali, thank you very much. Let's find out what's happening and has already happened in the Champions League so far this evening. James Gregg.
Yes, carnage at the Bernabeu, Kelly. Real Madrid had to scrap hard to rescue a 2-2 draw with Club Brugge. 2 goals from Emmanuel Dennis gave the Belgians a 2-0 lead at half-time. 2 big errors from Sergio Ramos contributing to those goals, but he was the one who pulled it back slightly with a VAR-sanctioned header before Camillero, the Brazilian, equalised late on. But Real are bottom of Group A on 1 point from 2 games. In Group C, Manor Solomon scored a 95th minute winner over Atalanta for Shakhtar Donetsk. So drama there too. That one finished 2-1. Well, in the 8 o'clock games, though, notably no start for Aaron Ramsey for Juventus this evening, but it's not stopped Juve from opening up a lead against Bayer Leverkusen at home. Of course, they drew 2-2 in their opener against Atletico Madrid last month, but Gonzalo Higuain with a stunning right-footed volley giving them a 1-0 cushion this evening. Talking of Atletico, Diego Costa in action for them this evening. He missed an absolute sitter against Lokomotiv Moscow. That game's goalless in Russia. No Mbappe starting for PSG this evening. He's on the bench as he returns from injury. Neymar also missing, serving the second of that 2-match European ban, and they're dearly missing them both. They're goalless away at Galatasaray. It's been a fairly tepid affair so far, that one. And just one other goal to speak of. Ruben Costa's given Olympiacos the lead away at Red Star Belgrade. So Juventus and Olympiacos lead. The rest are goalless, Kelly.
James, thank you very much for that. Robin Cowan is watching a big game at the bottom of the Championship. Rock bottom side Stoke against Huddersfield. Neither side have got a win so far this season, 10 games into it. Robin, any surprise that it's been a slightly uneventful one?
No surprise at all. I think that stat may be set to continue. Quite understandably, it's been pretty cagey. 0-0 at half-time. Neither side really wanting to take too many risks at the expense of making a mistake, perhaps. Stoke have had the better of the game, but they haven't managed an effort on target. Joe Allen has had their best chance late on in the half, unmarked. He headed it over the bar. Danny Cowley's side, though, should have taken the lead early on in the half. An unbelievable miss from Elias Kachunga. Had a free shot at goal from 6 yards out and sent it wide. Half-time, it's Stoke City 0, Huddersfield Town 0.
Elsewhere in the Championship this evening, it's Blackburn 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Leading West Brom by a 1-0, which means that as things stand, they leapfrog them and go to the top of the Championship table. It's Middlesbrough 1, Preston 1, Wigan 0, Birmingham 0. Reading are 3-0 down at home to Fulham at half-time. And as we just heard, that game is goalless at the moment between Stoke and Huddersfield. Right, we will be back here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with Tottenham trailing Bayern Munich by 2-1 for their second half commentary. We'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening at the Etihad, where it's 0-0 between Manchester City and Dinamo Zagreb. Plus, we'll keep you right across the rest of the scores from this evening after the BBC News with Joe Critcher.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Boris Johnson says there will have to be customs checks on the island of Ireland, but has denied the plan would involve customs posts or a hard border. He's also confirmed new proposals for a deal with the EU will be presented soon. The former Irish Prime Minister, Bertie Ahern, says it will be very difficult to police.
Most of the goods that cross the border are from big companies, they're from cooperatives, they're from multinationals, and the self-regulation that these companies operate with revenue and trade figures is probably the only way you can do it. If you accept, like if there was somebody shifting a small load of cabbage from one side of the border to the other, and if you just ignore it, in my view, is better.
Police say a man who was murdered in a flat in Greenock in Inverclyde was stabbed to death in front of his 2 young children. 27-year-old Christopher Nichol died on Thursday. Detectives believe he was targeted by robbers. There are more than 30 flood warnings in place across England and Wales after heavy rain. A major incident's been declared on the Isle of Man, where rising floodwaters trapped people in their homes. A record number of homeless people died last year in England and Wales. The Office for National Statistics says there were 726 deaths, with the increase down to more cases of drug poisoning. Pastor Colin Rankin runs a Christian outreach group helping homeless people in Birmingham. He says the real figures are much higher.
If you're a sofa surfer, if you're someone who's from a different country, if you actually pass away in hospital, so you could have been on the street, been taken to hospital, if you pass away, you're not on the figures. If you commit suicide, again, you are not on those figures. Yeah. So it's a lot higher.
The Duchess of Sussex has started legal action against the Mail on Sunday newspaper over an allegation it's unlawfully published one of her private letters. Prince Harry said the royal couple had been forced to go to court because of the painful impact of relentless propaganda against Meghan from the British tabloid press. Banksy has apparently set up a mini art exhibition in a disused shop in Croydon in South London. It includes a stab vest he designed for Stormzy's headline act at Glastonbury Festival.
5 Live Breakfast.
Did you see the story about the bloke who lost his car? So this is a lad who drove 100 miles to a music festival and he's still looking for his car a week later. 19-year-old Connor Spear can't remember where he parked his black Vauxhall Corsa. Apparently he parked it by some bushes and that's all he could remember.
Narrow it down?
They combed the area for 11 hours in total. Listen, we've all done it in a big shopping centre car park.
Yeah, well,
no idea.
Yellow 33.
The weather, just manage expectations for us, Chris. Is it going to be just grim for the rest of the week? Simon. What did I call you?
Chris.
He's Chris.
Right.
You're Simon.
Let's call everybody Chris, it's safer.
Thank you, Nigel.
5 Live Breakfast. Back tomorrow from 6.
This is 5 Live, your football station.
The UEFA Champions League.
With Kelly Cates.
And your Champions League commentary this evening comes from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Tottenham trailed Bayern Munich by 2-1 at half-time. Second half commentary of that game coming up. Goalless at the Etihad between Manchester City and Dinamo Zagreb at half-time. We'll have regular updates of that for you. And about 20 minutes ago at the World Athletics Championships in Doha, Adam Jamili had high hopes of coming home with a medal in the men's 200 metres final. But he finished outside the medal places, just in 4th place. Here's his reaction with Jeanette Quachu.
Adam, a really tough one for you, visibly upset, and we can all see how upset you are about this, and we're not used to seeing you like this in the mix zone. And I guess just talk us through what the overriding emotion is for you right now.
I'm just gutted. I had it, and I just lost. I just gave it everything. I lost all my bounce at the end. I just had nothing left. All my form went out the window, and I ran like such an amateur. It was, I can't believe that I came so close. This is such a good opportunity. I've been running so well for the heats. My body feels good, and I just let it go when I had it, and I'm so sorry. I don't need to. People always say don't apologise, but I just feel like I've let so many people down. There's so many people that have believed in me and sent me such nice messages over the last few days, and the team that I work with, they've done so well. The last 2 years I've been plagued with injuries, and that's showed in my performances, and I've got back to where I should be, and to not even be able to break 20 seconds is so disappointing and heartbreaking. And I had the medal and it just slipped out of my hands, and yeah, I don't know, I have to take the positives, I guess, from being written off pretty much as labelled a relay runner, whatever you will be. It just shows you just need that tight-knit people around you to believe in you, and you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And for me, that hasn't happened today, but it's relit something inside of me now. Tokyo next year, it's winnable.
And I wouldn't say you've let anybody down. I don't think anybody watching at home feels that way, and I know in the immediate moment that it does feel that way, but you have a few days to pick yourself up, and it's tough to think about the relay and how you're going to do that and bring yourself back. But how much do you think about that in a minute?
Well, I'll have to go away, reset, and I've got a couple of days until the heat, so I'm fit and healthy. Hopefully they'll be in the team, and there'll be a bit of redemption in me, just like 2017. This is such a bad interview because I'm gutted. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Joe.
We don't apologise. We know you're disappointed, and we'll let you go.
Thanks, love.
That was Adam Jamili talking to Jeanette Kwache after he missed out on the medal places in the men's 200-metre final at the World Athletics Championships. Out in Doha for us at the moment, Mike Costello and Alison Kirbishley. Mike, he talked a lot about the way he ran the race. He said it was amateur, that he had nothing left, that all his form went out the window. What kind of a race was it from Adam Jamili?
Well, he needed to lay down a challenge in the early stages of the race, and he did that. He was vying for the lead coming into the home straight with his training partner, Andre de Grasse of Canada, and the race favourite at that stage, Noah Lyles, was adrift. But we know that Lyles has got blistering acceleration, so Jamili and everyone around him knew that he had to be leading or very close to leading coming into the home straight. And then at one stage, he moved into the silver medal position behind Noah Lyles. Lyles did indeed show that acceleration, and then Jamili moved into second place, and with 30 or 40 metres to go, it looked like, just like Dina Asher-Smith in the women's 100 metres, he was going to take that silver medal. But that's when it seemed to dawn on him that the medal was around his neck, and he started to roll around and lost his form, as he says, and then finished up in fourth place. And the heartbreak that you heard there, and that really was the sound of heartbreak, is amplified because he finished fourth at the last Olympics as well on that occasion, beaten by only 3 milliseconds. He's been talking a lot this season, Kelly, about some quotes that he's got on his phone that he hasn't shown anyone yet, which are attributed to people who have influence among the selectors in British athletics. This year he's been taken off funding for individual athletes and funded only as a relay runner, and he doesn't want to be known as only a relay runner. He wanted to prove this season that he's much better than that, and this was his chance tonight, and it's gone.
Ali, you can hear so many layers of disappointment, and Mike's explained them there. You know, the sort of missed opportunity, the fact that he felt as though this was a chance for him to go on and get that medal and prove people wrong. But even though you can have sympathy with him as a fellow athlete, by the end he was starting to talk about getting ready to go again, to pick himself up. He said something had been relit in him.
Yeah, you know what? Why doesn't good things happen to good people in sport? Because sport is so cruel, and Adam is one of the nicest guys, and I know that, you know, that doesn't necessarily automatically give you the medals, but that perseverance, you know, you heard him talk quite openly about his injuries. You know, he moved coaches a couple of years ago to Rana Reda, and he's moved over to the Netherlands, and now since over to Florida. You know, he's making a lot of changes, he's making a lot of commitments in his sport. And he's a very different athlete now. You know, he's been around us since 2012. He was a very young. Actually, we got him from football. You know, Chelsea had him on the books early doors, and he decided to come across to athletics. And we've always believed that this guy has something special, and it's only really happened in the relay. He's got a chance to come back and redeem himself, but you know, I still think that global medal will be there somewhere, whether it's in Tokyo next year or in Eugene in 2 years.
Alison Kirbishley, Mike Costello in Doha, thank you very much for joining us. Just to bring you up to speed with everything that's happening this evening at the Etihad, Manchester City goalless against Dinamo Zagreb. In the Championship, Leeds currently top over the pile. They're beating West Brom 1-0. It's 0-0 in the match at the bottom between Stoke and Huddersfield. Regular updates from them. We'll keep you up to date with everything that's happening across football. Meanwhile, here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, with Spurs trailing by 2-1, time to hand over to your commentary team of Chris Waddle and John Murray.
Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, Bayern Munich leading by 2-1 after that superb strike from Robert Lewandowski just before the break. We have got a stoppage right from the start here because Tolisso has taken a bang and might need some treatment. Also, Chris Waddle, Bayern Munich have made a change at half-time, and it's obviously an enforced change. David Alaba, the left back, has had to go off at the break. He's only just come back from injury, and it's created quite a reshuffle because Thiago has come on into midfield. Pavard has switched across to left back, and Kimmich is now playing at right back. But quite a number of the Bayern squad are very adaptable, Kimmich and Pavard being two of them, so I don't think it'll ruffle them too much. Actually, let me run you through the teams. Tolisso's okay. Tottenham, as they started: Lloris, Aurier, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Rose, Winks, Sissoko and Ndombele, Dele Alli, Kane and Son. Neuer just running the ball across his penalty area, running away from Harry Kane, falls to ground as he clears it, and Bayern have the ball with Koeman, who loses out to Sissoko, and now here's Danny Rose on the left hand side. Koeman shoulder to shoulder, nudged him over. Free kick to Tottenham on the left. Rose thought about taking it quickly, but I think they're going to... No, he does take it quickly to Sissoko. Tottenham led in this match, 1-0 through Son, his goal in the 12th minute, but Kimmich with an excellent goal as well. And then, just before the break, Lewandowski scoring for Bayern, who lead here by 2-1. Winks gets the ball back, centre field, but is crowded out there and actually dives in as the ball runs away on Lewandowski, who reacts as though he was caught. But referee Turpin had a good view of that, clear view, says no free kick. Bayern supporters don't like it, and the home supporters are booing Lewandowski for his reaction against Harry Winks' challenge. Coutinho, it's on a knife edge now for Tottenham this group match. 2-1 down here, having drawn 2-2 against Olympiacos, having been ahead in that match in the opening game in the section. Here's Coutinho, inside Ndombele, got the ball as well, which was crucial, and then gives it. And now it's brought forward by Son, plays it out to the right-hand side. Kane peels away. His ball across is hooked away by Thiago, who is arriving back in the penalty area and prevented it from reaching Dele Alli. And now, as the game continues to swing from end to end, this is more of the same sort of fare that we saw in the first half. Coutinho running at the Tottenham defence. Now Lewandowski, his ball into the penalty area, a stretching away by Vertonghen, and it bounces down for Ndombele. And now it's Tottenham who are off, but it's given away by Winks. Coutinho back to Lewandowski. His shot is blocked, and it had to be by Vertonghen. But then the shot from centre field from Tolisso, just outside the D, is pulled wide and behind for a goal kick.
Well,
Chris Waddle.
Well, the first 20 minutes started like this, didn't it? And the tempo was high. Tottenham's caught the blocks again, and it's so important. This first 20 minutes definitely for Tottenham. They've got a good tempo going. They're going to tire. Subs are going to be very important, but they've got to get this equaliser and get themselves back into the game.
Chris Waddle, former Tottenham man, former Champions League finalist with Marseille, and Tottenham concede a free kick. The Bayern side then now, Neuer, Kimmich, Zula, Boateng and Pavard, with Thiago and Tolisso in midfield. Gnabry on the left, Coman on the right, and Coutinho behind Lewandowski. Lewandowski now 13 goals this season. What a brilliant start that is to a new campaign. 40 last season, 40 the one before that, 43 the season before that, 42 the season before that, and 25, just 25 in his first season.
His contract's not up, is it?
31 years old. He has actually recently signed a new contract, Lewandowski, to stay a little longer. Here's Winks. Winks now running the ball forward, but played it behind the run of Harry Kane. And Bayern have got possession back inside their own half. They'll be underway in Manchester as well. No goals yet in the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0. Coutinho now playing it forward towards Lewandowski, who drifts in from the left-hand side, but showed too much of that to Alderweireld, who was able to get a foot in. And now Sissoko back to Alderweireld.
It's a good tempo about the game, John, but it's very scrappy, isn't it?
Long ball from
Alderweireld.
What a pass as well for Dele Alli. Takes a touch, but took it wide, and the shot was straight at Neuer, who was able to take it down easily.
What's the ball? Alderweireld, he must hit that, 60 yards into the path of Dele Alli. You've got to say, it's a good take, but it's too heavy. It takes a bad angle to get the volley onto the target. He hits the target, but there's no pace. Very easy for the keeper.
Blackburn are 1-0 up on Nottingham Forest at Ewood Park. Adam Armstrong scoring the opening goal, and Atletico Madrid have taken the lead against Lokomotiv Moscow in Russia. That's 1-0, and Joao Felix, the promising youngster, one of the big signings of the summer, has scored the goal for Atletico Madrid. Juventus winning 1-0 against Bayer Leverkusen in the other match in that group, as we knew at half-time. So, Tottenham here, if you remember last season, they took just the 1 point from their first 3 group matches, yet were able to find a way through all the way to the final. Looking at the possibility here of taking 1 from their first 2 this season. Spurs' next matches are the home and away games against Red Star Belgrade on match day 3 and match day 4, as UEFA like to call them. Here is Rose on the left hand side. Rose again shoulder to shoulder with Coman. Down goes Rose, no free kick this time, and Coman's going to run it away up the right hand side. He's being chased by Sissoko, still going, just checks actually, and then has both Dele Alli and Sissoko there, and has to give it back into his own half. Well done, Dele Alli and Sissoko.
Yeah, well, Chase Coleman's gone down now. He's got talent, the lad. If he can put it all together, I know he's still quite young. If he puts it all together in the next few years, he'll be a very good player.
Yeah, back into the French squad now as well, Kingsley Coman. Nottingham Forest have equalised. Joe Lolly has made it Blackburn 1, Nottingham Forest 1. And Coman climbs to his feet. I don't think there's anything too seriously wrong with him. Niko Kovac there in rather an old style manager's coat is standing on the edge of the technical area. Niko Kovac, his brother Robert, remember them? What good performers, what great performers they were for that excellent Croatia side. Really is a throwback, isn't it? It's almost 90s, early 2000s style manager's coat with the stripes down the sleeves. Here's Zula at the back, passing it forward towards Tolisso. Tolisso, who claimed he was fouled, but I think you're absolutely right, Chris. Dele Alli, there was barely any contact between them when Tolisso gave the ball away to Sissoko, who set up the opening goal. But here come Bayern now, away and into the penalty area, and the ball is drilled in by Gnabry. Brilliant finish, a brilliant run too. Aurier was beaten far too easily on the far side. Gnabry cut inside him, passed him into the box, and the former Arsenal youngster scores here to make it Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 3.
Well, I've got to say he's been disappointing tonight. Gnabry for me, he's not really did a thing in the game, but obviously his season's been going well over in Germany. He's in the national team, and you can see why when he plays. If he gets his pace and he can get himself going forward, goes away from one challenge. Aurier for me, he struggles at right back, I've got to say. And the two centre-halves for Tottenham lack so much pace for the modern game. It's a great finish. He hits it hard and low. There is absolutely no chance. Mounting the claim now for Tottenham.
Well, Serge Gnabry there has come back to North London and shown exactly what he is capable of and what a good player he is. 24 years old now. So it's not really a youngster anymore. Remember that spell he had on loan at West Brom as well, when it simply didn't happen for him. But it's happening for him at Bayern Munich. And it's now 3-1 here. Tottenham are trailing to the German champions and league leaders. And the Bayern supporters are twirling their scarves in their thousands on the far side. Elsewhere in the stadium, looking around, Tottenham supporters looking rather downcast and disgruntled. And Bayern now searching for a fourth goal, but in steps Vertonghen. And Tottenham then, Winks loses it. He's dispossessed by Tolisso, and Tolisso sets up Gnabry, and he's scored again! Low shot in off the foot of the far post and into the back of the net. A second goal in the space of 2 minutes for Serge Gnabry, and it's Tottenham 1, Bayern Munich 4. And it's all going wrong for Maurizio Pochettino and Tottenham here tonight.
Most definitely. I've got to say, with 35 minutes of the game, Tottenham are the best side. But you can't keep that tempo up. They've given the ball away. Harry Winks caught in possession, and he's been caught in possession quite a few times tonight. We think he's good at getting that ball off the two centre-halves. He's not turning up. He's not had enough vision around him to know where players are, especially Bayern Munich players. Caught in possession, and it's another good finish. He's hit it left foot. He's just put his head down, put his foot through it. It's gone in off the far post, and that is game over.
Game over. Tottenham are going to have work to do in the final 4 matches in this group just to get through to the knockout stages. And okay, they've got the 2 matches against Red Star Belgrade to come, but going there is not easy. And then the last match in the group in December is away in Munich against Bayern.
Well, it's that one, John. It's the play that they did the first 35 minutes. And take the chances, they could have been 4-1 up.
So 4-1 to Bayern Munich here. We're going to go to Manchester City in a moment, but Dele Alli taking the ball forward. He claims he was fouled there. So a challenge came in on him from Thiago, but no free kick, and the ball's through for a goal kick to Bayern. So let's get the latest on Manchester City, Dinamo Zagreb from Alistair Bruce Ball.
Manchester City continue to be frustrated by Dinamo Zagreb. 10 minutes into the second half, it's 0-0. Pep Guardiola not hanging around. He's made the change already. Raheem Sterling is on. Bernardo Silva has gone off. Sterling immediately on the ball down the left-hand side. Plays it back to Mendy, who's making a burst into the penalty area. Rodri playing a pass across the face of the box. The attack continues. It remains 0-0. Sterling attacks the cross, and the ball is behind for a Manchester City corner. City 0, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
So City being frustrated and Tottenham just plain disappointed here. 4-1 down. Serge Gnabry scoring 2 goals in no time at all, less than 2 minutes to make it 4-1, and Tottenham surely can't come back from this here. In the Championship, 20 minutes to go at Elland Road. Vicky Sparks.
And Leeds still lead 1-0, heading for the top of the Championship as things stand, thanks to Alioski's goal 7 minutes before the break. Took a little nick off Bartley on the way through, but it's been given to Alioski. Good chances for both sides in the second half. Phillips and Pereira going close for West Brom. At the other end for Leeds, Costa has drawn a very good save from Johnston, who made a fabulous double save at the end of the first half as well. Leeds 1, West Brom 0.
Free kick to Tottenham on the right after Thiago dived in rather on Aurier, so free kick in a good position. Paris Saint-Germain have taken the lead in Turkey against Galatasaray. Mauro Icardi has scored. PSG going for 2 wins out of 2 in that group. Earlier in that section it finished Real Madrid 2, Bruges 2, after Bruges led 2-0. Free kick to Tottenham in front of just over 60,000 people inside the stadium here on quite a cool rainy night. Dry at the moment, and here's the delivery from Weah on the right. Neuer comes and gets a good punch on it on the far post. Rose is caught inside the box. It's a penalty. Rose went in for the bouncing ball. Coleman went in with his foot up, caught Rose. It's a penalty to Tottenham.
Yeah, Danny Rose, he's played for it. He knew what was happening. Coleman was focused on the ball. It swings his leg. Danny Rose just gets his foot there before him, and he's took him out. He knew what he was doing, Danny Rose. Just lifts the ball. They're saying Danny Rose showed his studs on the ball, and we know in Europe that normally is a free kick, but the referee's given the pen. We know he'll be taking this.
Well, he's got the ball and he's waiting, and he's having to wait because the Bayern players are still protesting here. Manuel Neuer has gone to the referee, Clement Turpin, and Neuer's actually pointed to his captain's armband as if to say, look, I can make a point to you about this because I am the captain, but still Thiago is there. They're still waiting for the VAR check. Obviously they will look at this as they do at all of the decisions of this nature. And still, you know, there are Bayern players there near the referee. They've checked it and the penalty is confirmed, so Harry Kane will have to having had to think about it, the Bayern players now have to clear the penalty area, and this will take a little while as well. So it's 4-1. This is a chance to bring it back to 4-2. Kane against Neuer, who's made a string of very good saves tonight. Manuel Neuer. Referee Turpin goes across and has the usual word to him about how he mustn't come off his line, and then he points to some of the Bayern players who are encroaching, and then there's a little bit of shoving going on between Kimmich and Danny Rose, but it is a penalty to Tottenham, and Harry Kane, of course, is going to take it, the Tottenham number 10. This to reduce the deficit to 4-2. Kane waits, still we wait, and then little steps, Kane comes up, and he beats Neuer. The Bayern goalkeeper went the right way, down into the bottom corner, but it was hit with such direction and pace by Harry Kane that Neuer couldn't keep it out. Kane scores from the spot, and it is Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 4.
Excellent pen by Harry Kane, bottom corner, side netting. Neuer guessed the right way to his left, but was nowhere near it. Yeah, good pace on it. Game on again. Can Tottenham get this next goal?
Excellent penalty from Kane. Very often he goes up to the left, the goalkeeper's right, as it were. But Neuer guessed the right way, but that was a superb penalty. Pace,
brilliant.
bottom
As you
corner.
say, he loves it normally to reverse it, doesn't he? He wraps his foot right round it. Goalie's right normally, but a lot of goalies have twigged onto that now.
Well, if you remember, Chris, I spoke to him at Wembley last month after he scored the 2 penalties against Bulgaria, and was talking to him about how much he practices taking penalties, and he said, you know, some afternoons he just takes penalties. And that's where the practice makes perfect. 2 to Tottenham, 4 to Bayern Munich. And after all of that excitement and comebacks in the Champions League last season, we're not going to see another one here, are we?
2 open teams, you've got to say, tonight. Bayern Munich.
Less half an hour to play.
Bayern Munich played some lovely football going forward, but they've looked very vulnerable at the back, haven't they? There they go again.
4-2 to Bayern here. Hull City have taken the lead against Sheffield Wednesday. First goal of the night in the Championship, scored by Tom Eaves. And Atletico Madrid now 2-0 up away against Lokomotiv Moscow. Thomas Partey with the second goal for Atletico. Here's Aurier on the right-hand side. Spurs would love another quick one. In it comes. Kane with a header. Glanced it across the penalty area. Comes out to Sissoko. Sissoko back to Rose. Rose swirls it in. It's headed away by Zula, with Kane just behind him on the edge of the 6-yard box. And Bayern, all in red, are able to clear their lines. But Tottenham now pressing. And the Spurs players, the Spurs supporters, everybody thinking back to Amsterdam in the semi-final last season and that brilliant second half comeback. I should have known. I think I wrote them off again tonight when they were 4-1 down.
That's a big ask, I've got to say, because I'm sure Bayern's going to get 1 or 2 more chances as well. But next goal, if Tottenham get this crowd going.
Son on the right-hand side up towards Dele Alli, but across with the challenge slides Zula. And we are about to see Christian Eriksen coming on. That'll be the first change for Tottenham. Kane just outside the area, plays the ball to the space on the right-hand side. Son is there. Son back onto his left foot, crosses, takes a double deflection. Sissoko with a chance just beyond the penalty spot, and he sends it high over the top on the volley. That was a chance.
It's half a chance. It's a half volley at the end of the day. It bounces just in front of him. Very difficult to get your foot above the ball. Look, he's lying back high, very high over the bar into the crowd.
It's Ndombele who's coming off, Chris. Been quite quiet in the second half.
Yes, he has. He ran the show for half an hour in the first half, and he looks a tired man.
So Christian Eriksen is now joining the action. Eriksen, who I remember being so important, as were several Tottenham players in that comeback, that second half comeback in Amsterdam, as was Dele Alli. Eriksen, in fact, Danny Rose is picked up for a foul and it's a free kick. So let me run you through the latest scores in the Championship. Blackburn 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Hull City winning 1-0 against Sheffield Wednesday, still Leeds 1, West Brom 0, Middlesbrough 1, Preston 1 remains the score. At the Riverside, it is Wigan 1, Birmingham 0. Anthony Pilkington's just given Wigan the lead. Fulham still 3-0 up on 10-man Reading at the Medeski Stadium, and it's still Stoke City 0, Huddersfield Town 0. 4-2 to Bayern Munich. Go back to Manchester City presently, but Gnabry, who's on a hat-trick here, plays the ball up through the middle for the run of Tolisso, but excellent challenge. However, Lewandowski's won it back. Lewandowski now into the penalty area. Brilliant work. Pulls it back across. Gnabry's in there, but so are 2 Tottenham defenders. And the ball ricochets away wide of goal. And Lloris can run across and take possession. Superb again from Lewandowski in the middle of all that. Oh, a stretching header from Zula. And the ball bounces out of play off Dele Alli for a throw-in to Bayern. No, he didn't get a touch. There's a throw to Tottenham. Ali takes the throw. There are 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. Sissoko, though, carries on, gives it to Eriksen. Curling shot from Eriksen! And Neuer's able to leap up, get a hand to it and push it over the bar.
I give Tottenham credit. They're rolling their sleeves up and having a go. Crowd's getting behind him. That was a good effort by Eriksen. He could have done maybe 3 or 4 yards to the left of Neuer, but it's a good save with his right hand.
Come on, you Spurs. Again, the mood has changed inside the stadium. It's been quite a group match, this. Here's the corner, an out swinger which is firmly headed away by Zula. Comes out to Winks. He plays it back to Eriksen, who's just taken the corner. Ball played back in high for Tottenham. Dele Alli on the chase, headed away by Zula. Comes out to Alderweireld, and Alderweireld has shoved over Coleman, and it's a free kick. And straight to Manchester because Alistair Bruce Ball.
Super sub Raheem Sterling off the bench to give Manchester City the lead. The goal has been coming for a long time. Lovely run by Riyad Mahrez down the left-hand side. Low ball, cut across the face of goal, and Sterling pounced, edge of the 6-yard box, just in front of the defender, gets a foot on it, and into the back of the net. Manchester City leads Zagreb 1-0.
So Manchester City 1-0 up and heading to 6 points out of 6. Here Tottenham 4-2 down, heading to 1 point out of 6. And Bayern coming forward, Coutinho with a shot, it's deflected away into the full-back position on the far side. Gnabry turns, gives it back to Pavard, and now square to Thiago Alcantara flicks the ball to the right-hand side to Kimmich, right back in the second half after the withdrawal of Alaba. And Kimmich actually is going to go all the way back to goalkeeper Neuer inside his own territory. Still Red Star 1, Olympiacos 1 in this group, but Olympiacos are down to 10 men in that match in Belgrade, and Juventus now 2-0 up on Bayer Leverkusen. Tottenham with Dele Alli on the right-hand side. Sissoko. And now Eriksen. Eriksen's pass in field, though, is intercepted, deflected, and Coutinho is able to draw the challenge from Winks and give it now to Pavard, who drives over the halfway line and uses Gnabry. Gnabry's return pass is just about cut out by Aurier, and Tottenham can clear, but straight into the midriff of Thiago, and Thiago is able to bring it forward again for Bayern. Goes around Sissoko, plays it square to Kimmich, and now on the right-hand side, Coman cuts back. Oh, Rose dived in, looked as though he caught Coman. Coman went down as if he'd been touched, and referee Turpin, who wasn't that close to the incident, clearly had a view of that and said absolutely no penalty.
Well, he's got to book him then. Why has he fell to the floor then if he hasn't touched him? It'd be interesting if he's getting it in his ear. Look, the VAR.
The ball's out of play, yeah, and referee Turpin is now being
the replay
spoken to. We're seeing the replay now of Rose, who slid in.
I don't think he played him. No, he's trying to win the pen. Look.
Ooh, well, there is a little bit of contact there.
A little bit.
But the referee,
he's waved it bye-bye.
Yes, I mean, well, that's debatable, isn't it? So it is still Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 4. VAR looked at it and backed referee Turpin's decision. And I see that Perisic is going to come on very shortly. I know you're a big fan, Chris, of the Croatian winger who is on loan this season with Bayern from Inter, as Bayern with Boateng play the ball and dice with danger. But Pavard now to Coutinho, still inside his own half, but crosses the halfway line, and then Eriksen puts in the challenge and the ball bounces out of play on the far side. Fulham are now 4-0 up at Reading, who did have Swift sent off after 20 minutes. Tom Kenny scored his second goal of the night. So Reading 0, Fulham 4. Still Leeds 1, West Brom 0. 20 minutes to play here, still plenty of time. And Bayern with this 4-2 lead that was a 4-1 lead until Harry Kane scored from the penalty spot, his 7th goal of the season, 3 of them penalties, 7 goals for Spurs, that is. Now Gnabry on the left-hand side, Gnabry away very easily from Aurier, who went to ground, and then the cross to the near post. Coman went for it but couldn't make any contact. Dele Alli, Tottenham are passing it out from the back. Rose up towards Kane, who was challenged from behind by Zula and flung himself to the ground. Double change for Bayern, their second and third substitutions of the night. Coman is being withdrawn and Perisic is coming on for him, and Javi Martinez, the experienced centre-back, midfielder, Spanish international.
And Dele Alli's come off.
And Ali is being replaced by one of the other heroes of Amsterdam. The hat-trick man, Lucas Moura, is coming on now. And the other Bayern change is going to see Boateng come off because he's taken a knock, and actually he's having to be helped from the field, Jerome Boateng. So Javi Martinez, we'll have to wait and see who's going to take over in central defence, because there are
Martinez can play there.
There are a number of contenders.
He'll just go into centre half.
Perisic, just that he's going to play on the right hand side. Gnabry will stay on the left. So 4-2 it is, and Niko Kovac has now made all three of his permitted changes. Dele Alli off. How do you feel he's done tonight, Chris? Dele Alli?
I thought first half he looked obviously expect him to have a lot of energy. He's not played for a while, and him, Son and Kane looked very dangerous the first 35 minutes, and then he's run out of steam.
Sissoko stretching, but the ball falls in any case, even though he got a touch to Lewandowski, who actually just plays it back towards the halfway line. So Manchester City are leading 1-0 against Dinamo Zagreb. That second half goal from Raheem Sterling. The commentary, by the way, and 5 Live final score is available on the Red Button, the BBC iPlayer and the BBC Sport app this evening. You can continue listening to our commentary and coverage with all of the graphics and such like. Kimmich has the ball, playing it in field towards Thiago. Thiago now into the centre circle, and then worked to the left by Tolisso. Gnabry is there, and we'll play it back to Pavard. And Bayern go back into their own half. So let's go back to Manchester and Alistair Bruce Ball.
Into the last 20 minutes, Raheem Sterling's goal means Manchester City lead Dinamo Zagreb by 1-0. Zagreb barely out of their half in this half. I'm sure City are going to win the game. Pep Guardiola still getting head up though. Raheem Sterling, he felt, should have had a free kick, a challenge just outside the penalty area. Heated conversation with the fourth official followed. The referee came over and booked Guardiola. Manchester City 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
Shot from Coutinho here from just outside the D, but dragged it well wide. It remains Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 4. If you didn't hear earlier, in Qatar, Adam Jamili finished 4th in the 200 metres final. Dina Asher-Smith is through to tomorrow night's women's final. We'll have commentary on that. Tomorrow morning, Sports Extra live from Japan. France, USA from 8:45. New Zealand, Canada from 11:15. And then all tomorrow night's football covered in 5 Live Sport, and the commentary will come from Anfield, the Liverpool Red Bull Salzburg game. But it's been entertaining this tonight here, Chris. 4-2 to Bayern Munich.
Yeah, very good game. Tottenham give everything they had for 35 minutes, and maybe it's the first 15 minutes of the second half as well. But the game's about 90 minutes, and as Tottenham's proved this season, they can't do it for 90 minutes. They have spells in games where they do look very, very good, but then they have 10 or 15 minutes where they come right off the pace and very easy to play against.
So how concerned should Tottenham
I think the
supporters
concern is the back four for me. I think midfield's not bad. I think it's good. I think we'll score goals. I just don't think the back four's the level you need to win a lot of football matches. They're conceding goals every game, John. They're not. When was it? They don't get clean sheets.
Tried and trusted performers in there. Neuer just clearing under pressure from Lucas Moura. Rose loses out on the halfway line, and Bayern, and then Lewandowski has the ball taken off him by Harry Winks. Harry Winks was caught in possession for the 4th goal. Aurier was caught out, beaten too easily by Gnabry for Bayern Munich's 3rd goal. And Alderweireld passing the ball away from the back. And Sissoko receives it from Aurier and plays it across the defence to Harry Winks. They've had precisely 2 clean sheets this season, Chris, Tottenham, in all competitions. Rose is blocked by the newly arrived Perisic, so it's a free kick 10 yards inside Bayern Munich territory. One in the 4-0 win here against Crystal Palace in the Premier League, and the other one on this night last week when they lost on penalties to Colchester in the Carabao Cup. Here's Eriksen in the centre circle. Sissoko. Crowd trying to lift the team for the final 15 minutes, and we're into that final 15 minutes now. 4-2 to Bayern. Really, those 2 goals in less than 2 minutes from Serge Gnabry appeared to have taken the game away from Tottenham. But Harry Kane's penalty means there is a glimmer. Lucas Moura trying to take the ball on towards the dead ball line, but it's shielded from him there, and it's cleared away by Thiago. Tottenham again, Alderweireld to the right-hand side, and then in comes Aurier. Bayern are able to clear it. It's hoisted forward again by Alderweireld for Lucas Moura, who's challenged by Javi Martinez. No free kick, got a clean touch on the ball. Javi Martinez is playing in central defence, incidentally, alongside Zula. And now Son, he's been quiet in the second half too, but he turns away now, and Son takes it up towards the edge of the area, plays it square. Eriksen with a shot in the D, but he's lifted it high over the bar.
Well, he should have rolled it out, Aurier, and it's very easy. I don't know if he screamed for it. He did. He sort of shouted at Eriksen afterwards. He could have just rolled it on again, or he had time to control it and have a strike, but Eriksen's took it early, high over the bar. But Bayern's just managing the game very, very well, aren't they? They just slow the game down, keep possession, make Tottenham chase.
And you'd expect them to do exactly that. Kimmich chips the ball in field towards Perisic, and now it's played through but overhit through for the run of Gnabry from Philippe Coutinho, who's furious with himself for that, the little Brazilian international.
We saw glimpses of Coutinho, but since his Liverpool days, I don't think we've saw in a Barcelona shirt and in a Bayern shirt yet. You know how good he was at Liverpool.
Here is Son on the left-hand side. Yeah, don't forget, Liverpool sold him for, well, up to £142 million. Here's Aurier now on the right-hand side. Aurier, Eriksen, certainly not gung-ho. Tottenham, this is a measured approach. Back it goes to Vertonghen. Danny Rose. Tottenham switching it towards the left-hand side. Lucas Moura, but Zula puts in the challenge, and Spurs have lost possession. And then here is Coutinho. Turns and gives it to Gnabry. Gnabry now running at the Tottenham defence, plays it to Coutinho. In steps Vertonghen, and now the crowd roaring on Sissoko. Sissoko, little ball infield towards Eriksen. Eriksen now looking at the options. He's got Son here on the left-hand side as Tottenham play from right to left. 4-2 Bayern Munich lead. Son back towards Rose. Rose claims he was blocked by Perisic, but Son's in possession. Son takes it on, beats his man back onto his right foot, but and then gets it all wrong as he tried to flick it back. He was in two minds there and actually sliced it straight out of play for a throw.
You don't want to see that again on a video, will you? Well, it was great play to get the ball. He could have not just stuck it in when he checked back onto his right foot.
Full-time whistles will be going presently in the matches in the Championship. We've got just over 10 minutes to play here. Tottenham to Bayern Munich 4. And Bayern are breaking away up the left-hand side. Gnabry receives it from Pavard. Lewandowski is available in the middle, but they check back. And they're going to keep possession here. This is the game management Chris Waddle was just talking about. Through the middle it goes to Perisic. Perisic, remember him scoring against England in that World Cup semi-final, and indeed in the final against Hugo Lloris. Now Coutinho flicks it towards the left-hand side. Pavard is there. Now Gnabry with that white bandage on his left hand. Infield to Coutinho. And Bayern frustrating Tottenham here, just knocking the ball around between the red shirts inside Tottenham territory. Coutinho's little ball hooked away by Winks. Moura challenges for it against Tolisso, but it bounces down again and is lifted forward, but Lloris will come and claim that as it bounces into the penalty area ahead of Perisic.
Yeah, it's good play by Bayern Munich, isn't it? Took at least 2-3 minutes off the clock.
Lamela is coming on. Just over 10 minutes to play. Winks carries the ball down the left-hand side. Winks, little ball now through to Lucas Moura. Back to Winks again. Harry Kane in the box, but he's the only Tottenham player in the box. Sissoko's got it on the left-hand side. Now Winks. Sissoko again. This time a sliding challenge from Zula, and it's out for a throw. And before that throw is taken, we'll see the final Tottenham change. And it is Harry Winks who makes way. And on comes Lamela. So Lamela races on and takes up a central position for the time being. We'll see where he's going to slot in, but Rose to take the throw. So Tottenham now have plenty of options on the pitch. Moura's on there, and Eriksen, and Lamela, and Kane, and Son. Here is Lamela with his first touch of the match. We're now into the last 10 minutes here. BBC Radio 5 live from Tottenham Stadium in this second group match for Spurs, who are 4-2 down. Eriksen steps in. Eriksen's got it on the right-hand side. Slips it infield to Lamela. Now to the right-hand side. Aurier's ball across. Couldn't beat the first defender. Thiago is there, positioned inside the penalty area, and flicks it away.
That was a good game for Harry Winks to play in, though. That you learn a lot, especially international level as well. You know, getting the ball, receiving the ball in them areas up to centre halves. Get used to it. That's why he'll be in the England team for, to start attacks and get on the ball in a deep position if he's going to play. So he got caught a few times tonight, but hopefully he'll learn from it. Yeah, we've seen him have much better games in that position than he did tonight. But against Bayern Munich, they have some wily performers. 4-2 Bayern Munich lead here in North London. We're going to go to West Yorkshire because the final whistle's gone with you, Vicky Sparks.
And Leeds have leapfrogged West Brom at the top of the Championship, seeing out a harum-scarum ending to win 1-0 thanks to Alioski's goal just before the break. Took a touch off Bartley on the way through. West Brom's first defeat of the season. They slipped to second. Leeds top of the Championship. Full-time 1-0 winners over West Brom.
Other full-time whistles going. Wigan have beaten Birmingham City by 1-0, only Wigan's third win of the season. And Hull City have beaten Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0, and that is now 5 matches unbeaten for Hull City. Ball bounces back to the edge of the Bayern penalty area, and the Bavarians are in good voice over there. Javi Martinez gets it back, and this is calm, controlled play from the Bundesliga champions, and that is a pass downfield from Thiago for Gnabry, who's in for his hat-trick and scores, slips it superbly past Lloris. What a return to North London for Serge Gnabry. This is a hat-trick for him, the former Arsenal youngster, and it's now Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 5, and that is it.
Well, Thiago, I've always been a big fan of him. Great player, boss. So I thought, I'm surprised they let him go to Bayern a few years ago, and what a pass that was. Obviously, you know, he's got the pace against the two centre halves of Tottenham, who we've talked about, who play very high, lack pace, but he just makes a run from the left wing inside behind Aurier again, and he's got no chance of catching him. Nobody's going to catch him, and what a good finish, bottom corner. You know, if you actually analyse his game tonight, he's not really done a great deal in the game. But people are going to say, yeah, but he's put the ball in net 3 times, and he has.
He has. Serge Gnabry, he'll be getting the match ball. He'll be getting all of the plaudits, I'm sure, from the German media, and that will be sweet for him. Didn't make it at Arsenal, didn't make it at West Brom on loan, but eventually found his way to Werder Bremen, and things began to take off from there. Signed by Bayern Munich and sent on loan to Hoffenheim as well, but now making good strides. As Chris Waddle has said, he's made a brilliant start to his German international career as well, goal-scoring start, and here he is with a hat-trick. Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 5, and what a result that is.
The Bayern song.
It's coming home. Yeah, they like that. I've heard that one from them before when they've taught the odd footballing lesson. Actually, if you remember, Chris, you know, all of those times that Bayern would crack in 5 goals a match against Arsenal.
Yeah.
They did that at the Emirates Stadium, I remember, in late Wenger. That was more thrilling football, but this has been controlled and clinical, and against last season's finalists, this is quite a scoreline.
I think they're rebuilding. Simple as. You have to rebuild. You can't rely on, you know, Robin and Ribery. Well, they're long time, played basically every game. They've got older. They've had to start developing, finding new players to come into this team and excite and play the way Bayern Munich play. So it's just, you know, it's not an old team. Listen, they'll be thinking they can do well in the Champions League. They'll think they've got a fair chance of getting.
It's finished Blackburn 1, Nottingham Forest 1 at Ewood Park. As you know, Leeds have won 1-0 against West Brom. Yeah, not only Ribery and Robin have left now, Hummels left this summer as well.
Muller can't get the team now.
No, Thomas Muller, who's his career seems to be winding down. Rafinha moved on. Young Renato Sanchez didn't really make it, and James Rodriguez as well.
Yeah, there's another one.
So, that's been quite a turnaround for Bayern Munich, but they're top of the league. They've lost only once this season, and that was the German Super Cup. They always have grand designs on the Champions League. Last season was the first time in 8 seasons that they failed to reach the quarter-finals. Remember them losing 3 semi-finals in a row under Pep Guardiola. But here, this is quite a statement. 5-2 against Tottenham. And now Coutinho. And it could be more. It's Lewandowski. It's 6. Lewandowski scored his second of the night. And that was so easy. Bayern just walked through the Tottenham defence. They were static. They were like statues. And in the end, it fell to the right instep of Robert Lewandowski, who just steered it across Lloris into the back of the net. And we now have a remarkable scoreline of Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 6.
I've got to say, earlier on, the weakness of Tottenham's team for me is the back four, and it showed again there. There's no pace at this level of football, and even in the Premier League, you've got to have mobility and pace unless you play deep and bring teams on you. Tottenham play high. The 2 centre-halves basically cannot play that system now, and I've got to say, Lewandowski, the flick by Coutinho's class, but the finish is absolutely brilliant. People see this goal, the 6, they'll think, nah, it's not, it's a tap-in. That is a controlled side foot finish into the bottom corner of the goal. Lloris, no chance.
14 goals for Bayern Munich this season for Robert Lewandowski in 10 appearances. 31 years old, and he's not finished yet by any means. And here is Gnabry. He's looking for a fourth. He shoots. He scores. The roof is falling in on Tottenham here. It's 7-2 to Bayern Munich, and Gnabry scored 4 of them. This is extraordinary. Last season's Champions League finalists are being absolutely humbled by Bayern Munich here on their own ground.
Well, we always said before the game, Tottenham haven't looked great this season at all. Confidence has been a big problem. System, too many changes on the players on the pitch. It's just not happened for them this season, and again, they've been absolutely annihilated. Apart from that first 25-30 minutes, I thought they played very well. Apart from that, Bayern Munich have just ran this football match, and what another great finish, by the way, into the side net yet again. Lloris, absolutely no chance. Nobody gets close to them. The back four have lost all confidence. No pace about them. Can't get close to anybody.
What a scoreline this is. Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 7. They've scored 5 goals in the second half, Bayern Munich, and Tottenham's defence has just been non-existent at times. There has been a late goal in the Stoke City Huddersfield match. Robin Cowan.
A very significant goal. It's Stoke City 0, Huddersfield 1. It's scored by Leandro Bacuna on as a substitute. He's lashed it in at the near post past Adam Federici. Could this be the final stand for Stoke City boss Nathan Jones? Less than 6 minutes left here. It's Stoke 0, Huddersfield 1.
And possibly Huddersfield's first win of the season in all competitions. It has finished Middlesbrough 1, Preston 1. Juventus now 3-0 up on Bayer Leverkusen. Cristiano Ronaldo with yet another goal in the Champions League. And Red Star Belgrade 2-1 up on Olympiacos now in this group. Olympiacos down to 10 men. Let's get back to Manchester. A narrow lead for City. Last we heard from Alistair Bruce Ball.
Incredibly one-sided game. Remarkably, Manchester City only lead it 1-0. Sterling off the bench to score the goal in the second half. Pep Guardiola's been apoplectic with the refereeing performance. He's been booked. Somehow VAR didn't give Sergio Aguero a penalty when he was clearly tripped. And Phil Foden's getting a game. He's coming on in the 90th minute. Manchester City 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
Well, we are into added time here. 2 minutes of added time with a scoreline of Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 7.
And it's an empty ground now.
Well, the Tottenham sections,
I bet your teams are dreading when I turn up at the next match. I had Man City 8-0 and I've had 9 goals the other night, so look out where I turn up next.
Landslide waddle.
2 minutes added time.
So what an inquest there'll be after this.
Well,
I mean, you're saying it, Chris. What are you? Are you suggesting that
the back four is not good enough?
Are you suggesting 3 central defenders has to be the way to go?
David Sanchez, he's got pace. He's a bit erratic. And look, ball over the top. Look, ball over the top. They're in.
Lewandowski, he's on a hat trick as well. Gnabry scored 4. Lewandowski scored 2. A bit of showboating from Lewandowski.
Get kicked.
Passing the ball from one foot to the other, and he's shoved over by Vertonghen, who didn't like that one bit. Lewandowski stood off Vertonghen, was juggling the ball from foot to foot, stepped back. Vertonghen walks past him, looks over his shoulder, turns round, tells Lewandowski exactly what he thinks of him, and it's a free kick to Bayern on the right.
The problem is, Vertonghen's a very good player. They're very good. Listen, they are good players. The Belgian internationals, and Belgium are a great team. But the system, they play too high. They've got no pace, either one of them. Not blistering pace. If you play very high lane against pace, as we've saw tonight, it's one simple ball over the top takes the whole lot out of the game.
Reading have got a goal back, but Fulham lead 4-1 at Reading. Mete with the Reading goal. Free kick then. We're in the 2nd minute of added time. Might be time for Bayern Munich to get an 8th, a la Manchester City.
Left-footed near post.
It's going to be taken either by Kimmich or by Perisic. Perisic plays it across, and it's curled in onto the roof of the net by Tolisso from 25 yards, and it's a goal kick to Tottenham. And there's the final whistle. There is the final whistle, and Mauricio Pochettino, how on earth he must be feeling down there. He turns, he actually clasps hands with the Bayern coach Niko Kovac. What a great night for Bayern Munich. But what a scoreline for the Champions League finalists at the end of last season, Tottenham. This is embarrassing, humiliating. It's Tottenham 2, Bayern Munich 7, Chris Waddle.
Well, I've got to say, Tottenham for the first 25 minutes, I thought 30 minutes looked a good side, pressing, getting the ball off Bayern Munich, creating a lot of chances. Didn't take them, and at this level of football you've got to. Once their legs started to tear, Bayern Munich managed the game and went on to win, and to be honest, it was a matter of how many they're going to get second half.
Tottenham actually took the lead in this match. Son scored in the 12th minute, but Kimmich and Lewandowski turned it around. It was 2-1 to Bayern at half-time, and that was soon 4-1 in the second half when Gnabry scored his first 2 goals. Harry Kane did get one back with a penalty. There was a little bit of a glimmer for a time, but then Bayern just ran away with it in the later stages. Gnabry ended up with 4 goals, Lewandowski 2, Kimmich the other, and we have a final scoreline. You almost have to look at it